Managing vendor onboarding manually often means navigating a maze of email chains and missing tax forms. When these documents are tracked in silos, the sheer volume of paperwork eventually becomes unmanageable. This lack of a central system stretches procurement timelines and creates blind spots where compliance gaps can hide, exposing the organization to financial and legal risks. To address this, organizations are consolidating these workflows into a secure, automated lifecycle using the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform ecosystem. This infographic outlines that progression. It maps out an 8-step chronological journey, taking a vendor from the initial request through to final activation and continuous monitoring. Moving away from manual intake allows an organization to process vendors at scale while maintaining the strict oversight required by modern regulatory standards. The process begins at a single point of entry. A requester submits basic vendor information through a standardized portal built on Power Apps. The system immediately handles document collection, requesting W-9 tax forms and insurance certificates directly from the vendor without manual follow-up. Before any staff time is spent on review, the system performs automated validation. It cross-references global watch lists and checks internal databases to identify and flag potential duplicate vendors. This background logic is handled by the Power Automate automation layer, which routes data and triggers checks without requiring a human to manually move files between folders. Validating data at the start of the lifecycle prevents the common formatting errors and missing information that typically stall the procurement process later on. Once the data is verified, the vendor moves into the risk review phase, where the system applies a standardized scoring model. This chart weighs financial stability and compliance at 25% each, plus continuity and security, generating a score assigning a low, medium, or high-risk category. As shown, this risk tier determines the sequential routing path through procurement, finance, and legal. Approvers manage these tasks within Microsoft Teams. They can review the original documents, receive alerts, and provide comments directly within the workflow interface. This automated routing ensures that safe, low-risk vendors are processed quickly, while guaranteeing that high-risk profiles receive the necessary multi-departmental scrutiny. Following final approval, the system activates the vendor record, assigns a unique ID, and sends out an automated welcome pack to the vendor. The platform tracks expiring certifications, sending reminders at 30, 15, and 7-day intervals. If documentation isn't updated, the system follows an escalation path, notifying managers of SLA breaches to ensure the organization doesn't work with non-compliant partners. Automating these renewals and escalations keeps the vendor database current without requiring a dedicated administrative team to manually check expiration dates. Step 8 of the lifecycle focuses on visibility. The system aggregates all individual vendor data into Power BI dashboards for high-level analysis. This KPI dashboard shows the ecosystem's efficiency gains. We see an 89% on-time onboarding rate and a 4.2-day average approval cycle. Leadership can also track total approved spend and monitor 18 high-risk vendors under review, providing a clear view of financial exposure. These workflows are protected by Microsoft 365 security standards. This includes role-based access control, encryption for data at rest and in transit, and a permanent audit log of every action taken within the system. By embedding risk management directly into the software architecture, organizations ensure that every vendor meets internal standards before the first payment is ever authorized.